All right, sound should be good. All right. What a great way to start. Just me. Just me. Sound is not working. Hello, everyone. We're going to start over. Welcome to Automate All the Things. We've got Lola joining in a moment, but wanted to start this off by saying hi to all of you. So welcome Ranjit, Ethan, Colleen, Roseberry, Joshua. Got a bunch of folks in the chat. If you're new to Automate All the Things, every week we learn by building with no-code tools. I invite community members to come teach us how to build cool stuff. No technical expertise required. So today, I couldn't be more excited to welcome Lola, who just built integrations.directory, a directory of over 500 integrations for your no-code tool that is searchable and that you can integrate. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome Lola and make sure to give her a nice warm welcome in the chat. Hey, Lola.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going
Very
great.
happy.
I'm so honored and excited to welcome you to Automate All the Things. How have you been today?
Today, so far so good. It's the middle of the week, so no complaints.
So far, so good. Are you expecting that to change or
I'm staying with the high vibe, so hoping it will be continue to stay so far so good.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I obviously know you primarily from Twitter as a proficient creator, absolute, amazing no coder. But to folks who might not be as online as we are, maybe start with a quick introduction into yourself and what brings you here today.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Lola. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've been in like the no code space full time for like the past couple of years. I run a no code studio and agency called Pail Labs, where we build products ourselves, kind of like internally, and also build products for clients. So that's like the main journey. Love jamming with tools like Bubble, Webflow, Airtable, and so I'm super excited to be on here.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I'm excited because I've been kind of like thinking like, oh, we need to have a Lola on because I always see your projects. I see the amazing writing that you do. And, so really excited today to kind of feature integrations.directory, which is kind of, what you launched recently. But maybe before we jump into like how to use it, maybe some context into why you thought this was important and maybe like what is it to folks who haven't like interacted with it so far.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, especially in my work with Lunch Pill Labs, working with clients, some of the like first questions, especially if we're going to do like a web app or something with more complicated functionality, that I have to answer when I'm scoping is what am I going to bring together to
Mm,
integrate to make this thing happen? No code is awesome, and I think one of the real great benefits is that a lot of these platforms are extendable. So even if something can't happen like natively with no code,
mm.
either a little bit of code or an integration to an external service, you can like make functionality happen. And for the longest time, my process was like either to throw it up on Twitter,
Right.
hey, like what could I use to integrate with this? Go to some private Slack groups. So I just started to organize and have that information as kind of like an internal cheat sheet for myself. And integrations directory is like a public version of that.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I think let me know in the chat if you've ever had to ask the question, what integrates with what, which I feel like is basically the bane of our existence, right? So if we pick, Airtable as our core database, is there some functionality down the line that we can't do because either there's no, third-party integration, it can't be done natively, there's no integration with Make, or we got to write some code. And it kind of creates this bottleneck where you have to kind of upfront know the functionality and what integrates with what. And, I couldn't be more excited to kind of do an example here today where we're going to kind of do a build and potentially like use that directory to guide us into the right third party. So I'm going to jump in here, Lola, and how about we start with, kind of explaining the use case. Before I do, it seems like you've got your little fan club in the chat. So Veronica, Glenn, the Lola fan club is here, which is fantastic. This is the Lola fan club stream where we stand Lola is what's that's what it's all about today. So
I stand all of you.
okay, cool.
Mutual.
All right, let's jump in. And this is I think kind of a use case that you presented to me. Maybe walk us through what are we building here, and how does integrations.directory kind of tie in here?
Yeah. So like kind of like with this demo, putting ourselves in the minds of like a no code consultant or even like an internal like no code operations person. Here, what we're going to build is we have this person is doing operations, kind of like the social media slash marketing department. They have a list of content that they kind of have on their calendar to post.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll use the integrations directory to find some integrations to enrich that
Right.
uh, content and hopefully like post it to multiple platforms.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got, I think like the fields here are,
Yeah, let me just make this. Yeah, so we got the content. So like I think what I'm hearing here is like you're tasked with, okay, we want one record per content post or blog post, and then we want maybe some text for a tweet or a LinkedIn post, and we want to generate an image. So two things we're kind of like being asked, if I'm understanding you correctly, is one, can we generate an image automatically based off of metadata? And then second, can we post automatically? And I think this is cool. I don't work at Airtable anymore, so I'm kind of allowed to say this. This is like two core limitations, I think, of Airtable. One is like generating images automatically is kind of a pain, in Page Designer. And I think second, like sharing to social media is only possible through Hootsuite, which feels like ancient software sometimes. And so not always the ideal. And so how would you imagine someone using your directory in this use case?
yeah, so we can even like do it live here, but
Yeah,
going into the directory,
cool.
so integrations directory, going to the browse page, you're already on the browse page, and then typing some keywords to start looking for stuff. So we can start with the generating images. We could also choose to do filters instead. But yeah, we can start with like generating images. So maybe like, yeah, generating images. We can search for that.
So while this is searching, I'm sure everyone wants to know, what did you use to build integrations.directory?
Yeah. So it's Airtable is the back end. The database is built in Airtable, and then the front is all bubble. It looks like it's actually hanging up right now, so you can like refresh it. And
Oh,
you'll
just
see it.
refresh.
Yeah.
That's okay. Let me do this. And then generating images is what we're searching.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that was quick. Cool.
So we have like a couple of options, and we want something that works with Airtable. So we might add a filter if we want to. I
Oh,
mean, we can also see in the integrates with which ones. Um, some of them might mention Airtable at
yeah, I like
first.
this idea of filtering. Let's say, we only have 4, but let's go ahead and filter
Integration grids, yeah, maybe choose Airtable.
Airtable show. Okay, it doesn't filter down because they all integrate, but for me, they're
Yeah.
kind of two. API and Airtable would be 2. So Banner Bear, I've already done a whole course on Banner Bear, Code Meets No Code. So if folks are interested, they can check it out. So let's use Placid, if that's okay with you, just because I feel like Banner Bear has been done and I haven't touched Placid in a while. And so you're essentially helping, like, okay, I want to go ahead and search what I want to do in this directory to find the tools that integrate with my existing build. And so we can go ahead and use Placid. So are you feeling, should we just go ahead? Are we just going to build?
I think we got the first one, and then we can worry about like posting to social media. We can go back and do that. But yeah, we can
Okay,
go ahead
cool.
and start with Placid.
Okay, I've used Placid, so I'm logged in. Okay, cool. Let's see if I can remember this. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
So new project, yeah?
Yeah, we can start a new project with Placid. And Placid's cool because they kind of walk you through most of everything. So just give your project a name.
I'm
Use
bad.
any.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll call it like social media images.
Images. Okay.
And then
Airtable.
we want to do the Airtable, and we can create our project.
Okay.
And so first it wants us to create a template, so we can just click create template.
These are nice.
Uh,
This is new. I don't remember doing this. These are much better than anything I would generate. Which one do you like? I am bad at names and design.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of like the you can scroll up, maybe that blue one, or actually really any of them. Like the
This
blue
one,
one was
yeah, I like this one too.
fun.
Yeah, so it's got like the type and then some text. Let's create it. Awesome. Okay. So I think is this going to be what's variable? So what are we mapping to, post content or title, headline?
Yeah. So when we create our automation action with Placid, so that will be like the next thing we walk through. I
Mm.
don't think we'll have to make any edits unless if we
Oh,
want to
okay.
change the colors. So it should be fine.
No,
But
this is a no design stream. We don't do
yeah,
anything.
maybe
Okay.
like cheese, whatever.
Let's close out of here. Okay, add your Airtable API key. I think I should already have it set up here. I think we're okay.
Okay.
If not, if
it
it
might,
fails, I will add it in, but there should be already there.
okay.
Cool.
And then
Oh, Airtable API key. No, I have not. Okay. This is probably, let me just hide this for a moment. Where's my API key? There we go. Boom. I now have my API key. And no one is any of the wiser. There we go. Cool, we're back. Yeah, secrets, exactly. Cool.
and then yeah, so you have your API key. We can do create and run our create our action and start an automation. So for the action title, we can just call it like create image.
Image.
And then we don't have to do.
On
We can just do.
demand.
Mhm.
Post. Okay, then I need to input some, okay, base ID is right here, table name, content. So this is essentially just taking us through the steps of like, I'm going to generate the script. Am I kind of saying that right?
Exactly. Like
Okay.
it's right now it's connecting you to like your Airtable
Mm-hmm.
your Airtable base. So yeah, but yeah, it's taking you kind of through all of the steps. And then so it already gives us here the like makes fields dynamic. So all we have to do is I think you should just be able to put the field name in
Yeah,
there.
so title is this right here, and then category is the one on the top. So tutorial maps to category, and this would be title. So here, we want our headline, right, to be the title. So this would be
Mhm.
headline, yeah. So this would be essentially, we want this field, this headline,
Mhm.
to be the title, and the category, maybe
Like company.
company name.
Yeah. Mhm.
Cool. Okay, set up output fields. It's funny because I feel like this could be a little more intuitive, but I like now as we're going through it, I kind of get it, but this isn't the most intuitive experience. But I think it's partially because Airtable doesn't expose its metadata, and so like you have to kind of work around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So output
Have to
field.
have steps because I would probably like forget. Yeah. So yeah, so the output URL, you might already have that in this space, but yeah, you can image URL.
Okay, so we're saying the output of this action, the URL of the image we wanted to put here. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. And an output image, a table field. Interesting. Of the type attachment where we'll save your generated image. Okay. Okay, image, boom, like that. So let me just walk people, like we're essentially saying we want an on-demand. This is the metadata of our table. This is the mapping of the variable inputs in our image. And this is where we want it to go.
Mhm. Yeah, where the output goes.
Got
And then
it.
you can create that action and create.
Oh, so now it's going to run for every image in my table.
So not yet. There's still some setup that we have to do.
Okay.
And it might be like it might be in the first step, but you should have like a script from this project.
Okay. Is that an add action?
Um,
Let's
it
see.
might. in.
It might be webhook. No, because then does that generate our?
It's not in webhook.
Okay. Or add
I think it's in
integration
project. It's in project settings.
in
That's where it is.
project settings. Okay, so we're here, and I said social media. Click here.
So yeah, project settings on the left there.
Project settings. Okay, got it.
So yeah, you might show your
That's okay.
key. So yeah.
And then, oh, so okay,
Go all the way
I'll
down.
just reset my key. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, here we go. Start
Yes.
Placid actions within Airtable. Okay, cool.
Exactly.
So here we're essentially saying, we need to run this script.
Exactly.
Okay.
And when we do run this script, then for everything in Airtable, it will give us our images, hopefully.
Got it.
So we can go back to our Airtable base, and then we'll need to add a script extension.
Extensions. Nice.
Extension scripting.
Apps
Scripting.
is it blocks apps extensions. Okay, cool. So let's copy paste that, just the webhook, right? Okay. And then do we want to just?
We don't need to do anything else.
Yeah, we can just run. This will generate all of our images.
So yeah, I guess we can run it from here, or like finish editing and running. But
Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's actually. I like the idea of seeing this. And so let's run. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay. All right. How are we feeling? Confident?
Yeah. Or do you have to click finish editing first? I guess I'm always like so.
Oh
like,
yeah, if you want to make it a little cuter, yeah, absolutely. This actually looks much nicer. There we go. Okay, run.
All right. Let's see.
I need like the Jeopardy.
Let's see. I'm gonna get some images.
Okay.
Yay! And then hopefully the boxes become things.
Yeah. Nice. All right. I think that's confetti. I think that's nice. Congratulations. That was easy, actually. And I have to say, I love this idea of like, I start with Airtable, I have a job to be done. I go into directory and I'm like, okay, I am looking for something that integrates with Airtable that does this thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. You've got a yo, that's dope from Ethan, which is the highest form of flattery that Ethan can give you. It starts at cool, fresh, and then dope.
Okay.
That is.
I'm with it. I love it.
That's Ethan's come to the stream a lot. He's never said that something we did was dope, so that means a lot. Thank you, Ethan.
Very, very cool.
Okay. Talk me through what's next. I'm like, we can do anything now. I feel extremely confident.
We can do anything. So we have our social content generated for when we want to do the tweets. So next we want to look for something so we can go back into our integrations directory that will help us post to social media.
So the idea here is saying like, okay, we want to take this image, the URL, maybe a little snippet, and publish it to multiple social media sites from Airtable.
Exactly.
Yeah, not using Hootsuite.
Not using Hootsuite. We're almost making like our own little like Hootsuite.
Yeah. Why use software when you could write a little bit of code?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I come to your integration, and what would you social media?
Yeah, you can search for social media, and then there are quite a few things.
Okay.
We can whittle it. Even like maybe try and post to social media.
Post, yeah.
If there's anything.
Okay, what is this search? Is this like, is this like a bubble? Like, this is pretty impressive search because it's got like some fuzzy logic, it matches words. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah, so like the database actually, so like it has keywords in addition to tags, and it's searching every field that's like in the Airtable database.
And this is like straight up bubble functionality, or are you using like a dedicated search tool to search Airtable?
So it's all Bubble. Bubble has a connection to Airtable. There's like some little things with like, oh, making sure that it's case insensitive, but
Right.
it's mostly, yeah, Bubble logic.
Very cool. Very cool. I might have to, eventually we might have to do a bubble stream. Not that
Yeah.
I
I
feel,
would love to share about all the fun, like, Bubble things. I feel
yeah.
like it doesn't get as much, love as a productivity tool, but I use it for some, like, internal stuff, so.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. We'll have you back. I am in the habit of when people are on the stream and people are watching to invite them back so you feel obliged to say yes. And so there's another instance of that. So Lola, we'll have you back to talk bubble. I'm curious, any bubble lovers in the chat? I haven't personally. I remember touching it like, 2017 or whatever. So Daniel, Daniel says yes. Okay. Cool. Okay. So Airshare with a Y is what we're using. Airtable to Airshare.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's go to the website. It's kind of cool. You've also got pricing, so that's probably something we can filter on as well if you want something free.
Mhm.
Cool. Let's go to okay. Okay. I think I had already created an account. Okay, so I am connected to LinkedIn and Twitter. So walk me through how, like, now that we know the tool, how do you kind of think about integrating this into Airtable?
Yeah, so, for me, first, it really starts with, like, looking at the documentation.
Okay.
I think Ayrshare actually has, like, an Airtable integration that I didn't realize, but, well, we can do the script way because it's, like, more
What
easy.
does it have? Has the Airtable integration via Make Zapier or?
Or I guess it's more of, like, an Airtable guide. I think they just pre-populate you with,
Oh,
like,
cool.
um yeah, with the Airtable script, but we can build it from scratch to have that be
Absolutely.
fun.
Yeah, I feel confident after that first one. Let's see. Let's see how confident we feel after this
We'll
one.
go a little bit
Um,
harder mode
I
here.
know Camille's in the chat, so if we ever make mistakes, we have a pro. We have a pro watching, so we'll be
Nice.
alerted to anything we're doing wrong. So, okay, where
So
where do I go?
so then I would probably, like, look at, like, kind of, like, where their endpoints are, and looking at post. So, and see what
Post,
to make sure that it is what I think it would be. So
send post. Okay, request samples, Node.js. So let me tell you what I'm seeing here. You'll tell me if I'm correct. So we've got a URL, we're posting, got an API key, we have the content, the text content, an array of platforms, and then image URL, which would be the one we just pulled in from Placid. So this is actually pretty simple.
mhm.
Yeah.
And they have, like, different code samples, so I think we can just pop in their Node.js sample and then
Okay.
edit from, like, the scripting.
Okay. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. It's been a couple weeks since I written a script, so my heart's beating a little bit. Let's see if I still got this.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a team effort. Like,
Exactly.
sounds like we have some experts in the chat too, so they'll be able to, like, help us out.
Okay. So we are gonna run this from a button, but for now, let's just make sure that this works. So const fetch, we're not gonna require node fetch. We're gonna put
Yeah,
in a
we
wait here. What
Mhm.
else? Let me get my API key. API key. API key. Awesome. What else do I need? This went into a coding stream real quick. Real quick.
Yeah, so we have our, post API key. Now, what we're really going to need is to connect it to our Airtable fields.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we'll need
So.
some scripts.
Mhm.
Luckily, Airtable does have some examples, so I feel like whenever I'm in the scripting, I'm looking at the examples and, like, seeing if
Yeah.
I can find something
Loading
close.
records. Okay. Yeah, you're totally right. So let's just take this. Right. So our table is going to be content. That is correct. We don't need to select records async. I don't think so
Yeah,
because we
yeah,
want
you're right.
Do we want to do it on a button? Is that what we want?
Yeah. So we can do, I think they have input record async, which if it is a button, then it will
Yeah, it'll
run
auto.
from the field button.
Uh,
And then it's like,
await. There's an await here. I remember. Let me go into input. Input.
and I think you might need a little, well, I don't know if it's necessary, but I sometimes have a little like action, like select a record to use. But I guess you don't
Yeah,
even
I
really
think
need.
no. I think you do. I think you do need a label. Right. So it starts with what record, what piece of content, what should we tweet? I don't know, man. I'm terrible at this. And then we're pulling from table. There we go. Okay. Let's just run this. Let's just make sure like that. Okay, let's run this. Okay, so let's pick a record. How do we build no code job board? Great. And select that. Great. Awesome.
Awesome. So we've got that.
Then we can uncomment this. Awesome. Okay. What's next? Let me know in the chat if this is too small. I can't like hide the right side, but I think I can make the text bigger. But I'll try to figure that out. I should be like to zoom in eventually. But what is the next step here in adapting this?
So I think we'll want to like only run the like await fetch if there is like a record. So like
Right.
maybe wrap it in a if record.
If record, and then we want to wrap all of this, and then else, let's just kind of console.log. There was no record. That feels about right. How do you should we kind of run this just to see what it is? Yeah, but but I don't have Twitter, so I don't have. There's a few things I don't have integrated. So let's kind of maybe walk step by step and see what we need to adjust.
Yeah. So you can take off. So I think for this you put in like Twitter and LinkedIn, right?
Yeah. So this is the same URL, just kind of. This is what when we're doing a post, we're saying generate information. It's taking our API key. That's all good, good, good. So today's a great day. I did not use Facebook. I don't know what FBG is.
I think that's Facebook groups.
Okay.
I had to think about it. Yeah.
So Twitter and LinkedIn are the two I posted. And then let's just see what this image is. Which is, I'm not,
like, you love Ayrshare or something.
Oh, XML. Interesting. I can't like preview it. Let's put something that it's optional. So let's just comment it for now. All right, and let's do this. Like that. Okay. Do you feel should we give this a try? So we're essentially we're not inputting any of the information, but we expect a tweet and a LinkedIn post.
With like today is a great day.
Yeah. Okay, so we sent this from Airtable using integrations.directory. I feel like that's cool. Giving some props. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Let's hope it works. So yeah, we can run it and see.
Okay, I've just got to pick a record. It won't take any information. Okay, success. Post IDs. Okay, let's look at this. Success. Okay, this actually worked. I'm a little... Okay.
So you have a new tweet on Twitter.
Oh, wait. It says doesn't exist. Oh, no, it worked.
Oh, whoa, nice.
Interesting. So it adds a little via Airshare. I guess that's because I'm on the free plan. So that's pretty dope. And we've already got a like. I don't know who liked this, but that's pretty impressive. Who is this? Mike. Mike's on it, man. Good job, Mike.
On it.
Fantastic. Okay, let me go ahead and delete this, and we'll make it better. Actually, yeah, no, let's leave it. Let's leave it for posterity. Let's leave it for posterity.
From the our very own.
Yeah, let's see if it worked on LinkedIn as well. So I don't know where do I see my own posts. Oh yeah, dude! Wow, nice, fantastic. Okay, man, confetti. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's very nice. Okay, so we actually don't have that much to do here. We essentially have to adapt this to change the URL, add the image, and seems like just a few more things we can do. And then if we have time, I would love to have like a multi-select around this goes to Twitter, this goes to Twitter, and then we could kind of dynamically decide, what we should go to. Yeah.
Make it even fancier.
Okay. So walk me through step one. We want to have the link included. And let's say, so we want post content, we want the link, and then we want the image. So these two together should be our post, and this image should be, embedded as well.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right?
Yeah. So yes,
Cool.
that does sound right. And I think there is like maybe in the table section of Airtable's documentation, something about like getting like record values because we do have a
Yeah, so let's look at field, I think. Is it field value? Let's look at value. I think there's get sell value. I think that's what we want, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
there are two. Do you want to kind of create a new variable that is those values, or do you want to just be, super bold and just put them directly into post?
We can do either. We can go super bold,
Super bold?
and then when it like doesn't work, we can be like, oh no.
Okay.
Or if it doesn't.
So we're going to essentially go to record. So I'm going to go here. There's a question of how did I bulk comment? I just want to address that, Colleen. You select and you go Apple, Apple, this thing, backslash, front slash, whatever slash, Apple slash, Alt, I think works as well on PC. So that's how you bulk comment. Cool. Where was I? Here, post. So we're going to do record dot get sell value as string, and we want
Like post content.
Post content.
Or the link first. Yeah, I think the post content first.
Yeah. So, and then how do we add the link? I think in that case here, it would be probably easier to do like similar to here actually, where we have like this little ampersand kind of way, or is there a way in JavaScript to concatenate without doing that?
So we could add pluses, like
Oh,
plus, and then we could add like a space,
okay, that
and
makes
then
sense.
like plus, and then the link.
There's something about this syntax that I feel like a developer would snark at, but none of those people are in the chat.
Yeah,
So it's okay.
it's probably better to have these in like their own variables, because like then if it like something goes, you're like, I don't even know what it even to post there.
Yeah. So then we want the link.
Yeah.
Right. So we're essentially, okay, go in the post, add the content, and then add the link. And for platforms, we're essentially saying keep those as Twitter and LinkedIn for now. Those are not dynamic. We're assuming we're always going to be posting to those two platforms for now. Okay. URL. Right? So this is an array. So for now, this is interesting. If it's an array, how do we get the Airtable image field or the image URL into that? How would we want to do this? Do we want to just put the URL here?
Yeah, I think we can go with like just putting the URL there.
Okay.
But it is good on the file. I think for Airshare, and we would have to look at the documents. I think it only takes URLs. I don't think it would take the attachment if we try to put it in there.
I have a pro tip for you after. Let's do it. Let's do it like this. I think this is great.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, I definitely want the
I want to see. We've got some time today, so we can do some cool stuff. Okay, so we're essentially saying take the post content, add the link, and then go to Twitter, LinkedIn, and add the image URL as well. That feels like pretty much everything we need so far. Is there anything else you would do here? Oh, the button.
Oh yeah, we have to connect it to a button. Otherwise, we'll just post everything in our.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and post to social media, and it's gonna be a button field and post. and this is going to be runs open custom extension. No, not open custom extension.
Run script.
Run script, which is
I've never used a custom extension. Would it work if we did that too? Because it is kind of like a custom extension.
No, so custom extension is a like a custom built extension using the extension SDK that you've built in this specific base. It is a little interesting in that running a script, this should be script extension, right? But whatever, we're being difficult. So we have two. We want the second one, I think. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we should have renamed it.
Yeah.
Another I feel like.
Yeah, let's rename this. Let's say send to social media. And let's just make sure we've connected the right one. Yeah, awesome. Okay. So let's give this a little nicer color. I think that's important. Give it a little like orange, like post. Okay. Let's do 32 no-code tools you need to try in 2020. I don't want to post the same thing. So okay, we didn't even use this. Okay. How are we feeling?
Let's give it a whirl.
Yeah. How's the chat feeling? We're feeling pretty confident, you know? Maybe put a little stress in it, grab a glass of water before. Okay.
I'll test 100 times.
Ethan is confident. He's good. Okay, let's give this a try. So post runs the script. Our expectation here is that we have two posts. It has this text, then it has a space, and it has this link right here. Then it includes the image right here. Okay, cool. Let's go to status. Seems like it worked. Right, this takes a little bit of time to generate, so that URL might not be available right away. So let's go here. Boom. Bam! This is awesome. I am so impressed with this right now. I'm truly impressed.
Posted the social media confetti.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, this is super impressive. And just to make sure that we're doing this correctly, let's go over to LinkedIn. I have to say, I'm like really impressed because I feel like this is just so simple and just so much simpler than going through another application. And this was super simple to set up. So if folks want to go ahead and juice this post, here's the URL. That's fantastic. Okay, I think for the next 10 minutes we are in like making this slightly better. So how do we go from here? Do you feel confident that we want to do the multi-array, so essentially creating this based on a multi-select, or do you want to do the image? Like what's your gut? Like how do we improve this?
Yeah, I like the idea of the multi-array. That way, like especially if you're using this like in the real world, if you wanted some things to be LinkedIn, some things to be Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. So we're essentially saying we're going to have a multi-select, so social media to post to. Man, this is such bad naming, but multi-select. So we want Twitter. And then what was the next? LinkedIn. And I'm going to be very careful here. This is just like a pro tip. I want it to match the casing of this. Okay.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I think it's all lowercase.
Now let's do Twitter and then this one LinkedIn. Let's do this one both. Okay. So how do we do this? Do you know what the multi-select is? It an array of options? I don't remember.
For the multi like get multi, I feel like it should be similar to get cell value.
Yeah, let's give it a try. Console.log record.get cell value. Let's see what get cell value is of social media to post to. And there's a reason I'm doing get cell value and not as string, because I want to see if it's like, does it give you like the color of each? Is it like an object? Right? Mm-hmm. Because, so let's say we go this one, which has 2. So it is an array of objects. So that means we need to construct a new array with just the name. So we want an array which is, object one dot name, object two or object zero, object one dot name. How do we do
We're,
that?
get,
How do we
we're
do that?
getting fancy.
We are getting
Yeah.
fancy, yeah.
I don't know if there is a way, like if we had like a dot name. I'm trying to look at if you go to the Airtable docs or examples with get cell value, do they have something with like multi-selects?
So I think you can just I think the thing is, I think here we need to create, they'll tell you how to get cell value, right? But I think what we want to do here is actually like map this to a new array, if I remember correctly, right? So we want to either like loop through each and then create a new array which has that object. Now I might be pushing what we can do in 10 minutes, but are we willing to give it a shot?
Definitely willing to give it a shot.
Okay.
I have to like think. I feel like this is something where I would usually like then go to Google to be like, well, what would I to
Yeah.
turn this
I
into
mean
a
that is totally acceptable on the stream. That is allowed. That is totally allowed. So I think if I remember this correctly, we should do let social media equal, and then we want to do like before we do that, let's try this. Let's just see what get cell value is, because that it might just be an array as string.
Mhm.
As string. Let's see what this does. This is that
Yeah,
one.
good point.
Okay, so it's just saying Twitter dot, and that's not exactly what we want because we want like comma Twitter. So it's close, but it's not exactly what we want. So I think the easier way of doing this is get cell value, and then we're gonna do let's try some stuff. I think dot map is what we need to do here, or
Yeah,
dot
maybe.
push. Let let's say social media to post to. This became a scripting stream, by the way.
Yeah, I'm also like getting into this Airtable base here.
Get cell value as, so we want record dot get cell value of social media, and then dot map, if I'm not mistaken. Map.
I think dot map is
Let's check this out.
good.
Creates a new
Yeah.
array probably with the result of calling a provided function, right? So we want for each one, take the social and output social dot name. I think this will work. Okay. I would be very proud of me. Yeah.
Yeah, you just like got that on the fly.
Let's
there.
see. Don't, let's see if this works. So we're essentially, let me just walk through. So we're essentially map goes through each item in an array, right? And then does a function. And my function is essentially just return dot name, right? So and then social media will be a new array with the output of this function. And this function is just essentially saying return social dot name. I'm hoping that this works. If it doesn't, I'm pretty much out of ideas. So yeah.
I think I've got one more idea if it doesn't work, but
Cell value as this. Ooh, that's a good error. Cool. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So this is nice. This is what it looks. This is nice. So here.
All right, on the fly.
No
needs no code. You got it.
Okay. So here we can now replace with we called it social media. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we're feeling good. I'm feeling quite proud of myself right now, I have to say.
Yeah, that was
awesome. Okay. So let's run this one more time. And I think it'd be cool. This one we're just going to post to Twitter. Right? So our goal is that if we click on this one, it's just going to post to Twitter. I'm feeling quite confident. How are you feeling?
I think you've got it. Let's
Post.
let's let's try it out. Let's see.
Twitter. Okay, this is good. This is good. Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
Excellent. Awesome.
Fantastic. Okay, let's go. Let's go to Twitter. Twitter might be flagging me in a bit. Amazing. All right, that's another confetti. This
Okay.
is pretty dope. This is really
Making it even fancier. Now, like,
absolutely.
what other like fancy things we can add? We have
Yeah.
like super hard mode. Let's do like a little GPT-3 or something and make it super
Yeah,
fancy.
no, I don't think you need. I think this is just like very functional, very useful. So I don't think we need to go that far. I don't, I think the only thing, if you allow me to do one more thing,
Let's do it.
is that I think you can here is that, we have the image, right, in Airtable. And the image field in Airtable, one of the properties is that it'll return a URL. So what I mean by that is that if we go here in console.log record.getSellValue of image, this got into like a no Airtable. That's why the directory was so easy to use. We were like, let's use that for 2 minutes and then write scripts for the rest of the stream.
Yeah, this is awesome. You're teaching me stuff. So, yeah, like I didn't even realize that attachment field had a source URL, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Then
So yeah, exactly. So if you go into the object and go into, assuming that there's only one image, you go into the first array, it has a URL, right? So if I go here, that URL is populated. Now there is a risk that Airtable might eventually, like make this private, but I know that I think the next step is actually just that they're going to change that URL at a regular frequency, such that if you look at this later, you don't have access. But when you generate the URL, when you're calling that when you're calling the get sell value, you'll be able to do it. So I think what's cool here is that this is an array, and similar to before, I can either just pass this. So that's one way of doing it. Right, so I think if we go here, record.getSellValue, instead I go getSellValue of image. I go into the first element of that array, which is just this right here, dot URL. Right. Thank you, CJ. Thank you. This is a nice shirt. If you want striped shirts, bother CJ. They're very soft. They're very nice.
oh, no, I definitely will be doing that then.
Yeah, CJ, can we get
I
Lola a shirt?
free shirts.
Yeah. No, CJ, while you're here, please send Lola a shirt. She would like one very much. If you do, she'll come back on the stream. Thank you very much. Okay, so essentially what I did here is instead of using the image URL, which comes from Placid, I much prefer having it hosted in Airtable. So I'm using the image field itself. Cool. So let's give this a try. So this should generate another tweet. And let's run this. Let's run with 32 no-code tools you should try. Let's actually just make sure, sorry, we're posting to Twitter. Twitter's easy. I don't want to spam LinkedIn too much. Okay, let's run this. There we go. And hopefully, yeah, that seemed to have worked. I go here, I go to profile. There we go. And we have that same image. Fantastic.
Nice.
Very nice.
So
Very nice.
save the step with setting up, so you wouldn't even need to have like both of them connecting. You could just have the one output.
Exactly. And I think the actual advantage of this is that let's say you have an image that isn't generated from Placid, right? So there might be a situation where you're like, oh, actually, I don't need this to be generated by Placid. I have a designer who, did a custom one. You can just upload it to Airtable in this image field, and then you'll be able to pull the URL. So this is like a little bit more robust. And I say this as someone who, has faced this exact situation.
I love that. That's a really, really great point, making it a little easier to work with for sure.
Exactly. I think that's what we wanted to show today. So Lola, I would love to if people are interested in integrations directory, they want to add tools. I saw some suggestions in the chat. Like, how can they keep in touch with you? What are next steps for folks watching this?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in terms of just keeping in touch with me, I love to be on Twitter. So, you can absolutely tweet me at Ojabowale. And then, yeah, any suggestions for the directory, if you want to add any or like include some or have any feedback at all, you can definitely shoot that over on Twitter. Um, or yeah, that's like
Fantastic. Well, I am extremely excited to use this more. I can't tell you the number of times I was like, what should I use for this build? So huge thanks for building this. And huge thanks for coming on. This was so much fun.
Thanks for having me on. It was super, super fun, and I got to learn some new things, so I'm excited.
That's what it's all about. So huge thanks as well, Ethan, CJ, Colleen. Thank you everyone for coming out today. I will probably not be back next week because I have a conflict, but I will be back on the 7th. So I'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you, Penny. Lola, you're getting some love in the chat from Penny and from so many others. So thank you again for coming. And everyone, I will see you back here in 2 weeks. Not exactly sure what we'll be streaming, but it'll be fun. And so thank you again. Lola, have a great day. Have a great day, everyone.
Awesome. Have a great one.
Bye, y'all.